Right now, as you are watching this video, Tropical Storm Arthur, the very first named storm of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, has just battered the Gulf Coast of Texas and Louisiana. Flash flooding swallowed entire neighborhoods. Wind gusts hit 50 miles per hour along the coastline. Homes took on water. Communities are still cleaning up. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, people are asking the same question. What kind of house actually survives something like this? Here is the thing most people do not know. While traditional wood frame homes were soaking up damage and debris was punching through walls, steel frame barndominiums built with the right specs were holding their ground. And today, we are going to break down exactly why. What features make a barndominium storm tough? What you still need to watch out for? And yes, we are going to talk about basements too, because that conversation is long overdue. Before we go any further, if you are new here, this channel is all about alternative housing, rural builds, and the kind of real information that actually helps you make smart decisions. Hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell so you never miss a video. We drop new content every week, and we do not sugarcoat anything. Now stay with me through this entire video, because at the end, we are going to cover something that most barndominium builders completely overlook, and it could be the difference between riding out a storm safely and losing everything. What Tropical Storm Arthur actually did in 2026. Let us start with what we are actually dealing with. Tropical Storm Arthur formed on June 17, 2026, making it the first named storm of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. It developed in the Gulf of Mexico and made landfall near Galveston, Texas, with sustained winds of 45 miles per hour and gusts pushing 50 miles per hour along the coast. That might not sound catastrophic compared to a Category 4 or 5 hurricane, but here is what people underestimate about tropical storms. The wind was not even Arthur's biggest weapon, the flooding was. Arthur unleashed life-threatening flash flooding across eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of the Florida Panhandle. 5 to 10 inches of rain dumped across entire regions. Neighborhoods flooded. Roads became rivers. Homes that had survived previous storms started taking on water because the ground was already saturated before Arthur even arrived. A tropical storm is not just a baby hurricane. It is a slow, soaking, infrastructure-stressing event that exposes every weakness in how your home is built, what it sits on, and what it is made of. So the real question is not just, can a barndominium handle 45-mile-per-hour winds? The question is, can it handle what Arthur actually brought? Heavy rain, storm surge, flooding, wind-driven debris, and sustained moisture exposure. Let us get into the features that answer that question. But before we get into those features, you need to understand one number first. It is the wind speed that changed how engineers think about residential metal buildings. And when you hear it, everything else is going to make a lot more sense. The steel frame advantage. That number is 170 miles per hour. That is the wind speed that properly engineered steel frame barndominiums are built to withstand. Tropical Storm Arthur peaked at 45 miles per hour. You do the math. Steel frame barndominiums are constructed with heavy gauge metal posts, beams, and connections that are engineered to resist the two most destructive forces a storm produces: uplift and shear. Uplift is the suction force that pulls your roof off when wind hits the side of your home and creates a low pressure zone above it. Shear is the horizontal force that tries to push your walls over. Traditional wood frame homes are vulnerable to both because wood can warp, crack, and fail under sustained stress. Steel does not. Here is what makes the steel frame so effective during a storm like Arthur. First, the weight of the frame itself increases resistance to uplift. Heavier structures are harder to lift. Second, steel does not absorb moisture the way wood does. So when Arthur dumped inches of rain over multiple days, steel frame walls were not swelling, weakening, or compromising structural connections. Third, steel transfers energy. When lightning accompanies a tropical storm, which it did with Arthur, the steel frame acts like a conductor and disperses the charge safely into the ground rather than letting it travel through your electrical system. Most barndominiums built to current 2026 standards are using 14 to 12 gauge steel frames anchored into concrete foundations with embedded bolts. That connection between frame and foundation is where storms are either survived or not, and when it is done right, it creates a continuous load path from roof to ground, that distributes wind pressure across the entire structure instead of concentrating it at weak points. If you want proof this works in the real world, look no further than what happened in Florida during major Category 5 storms. While wood frame neighborhoods were completely wiped off the map, custom-engineered steel frame homes stood intact, with adjusters noting they suffered almost zero structural failure. Neighbors literally used them as emergency shelters after the storm passed. The frame is only as strong as what it is anchored to, and what your Barndominium sits on might actually be the most underrated part of surviving a storm like Arthur that is coming up next. Foundation and anchoring systems. When Arthur hit the Texas coast and started pushing storm surge and floodwaters inland, the homes that suffered the most damage were the ones where water compromised the foundation. That is not just about flooding. That is about soil erosion, hydrostatic pressure, and what happens when water gets under a structure that is not properly anchored. Most barndominiums are built on monolithic concrete slabs, and that design works in their favor during tropical weather. A monolithic slab means the foundation and floor are poured as a single continuous piece. There are no seams, no gaps, and no separate footing connections that can shift or separate when water saturates the soil around them. The entire base of the building is one unified structure. Beyond the slab itself, properly built barndominiums in storm-prone areas use anchor bolt systems that embed deep into the concrete footings, sometimes 12 inches or more. These bolts connect the steel frame columns directly to the foundation. On top of that, wind bracing systems, including X-bracing and portal frames inside the wall structure, prevent the walls from racking sideways under lateral wind pressure. Moment-resisting frames go even further, distributing the force of wind pressure throughout the entire building envelope rather than letting it concentrate at any single connection point. For coastal and flood zone builds in Texas, Louisiana, and Florida, 2026 building codes require elevation above the base flood elevation, often with additional freeboard of 1 to 3 feet. Barndominiums can be elevated on concrete or steel piers, allowing floodwater to pass underneath the structure without directly contacting the living space. This is exactly the kind of design that would have protected homeowners from what Arthur brought in June 2026. Anchoring keeps the building on the ground, but there is one part of every barndominium that storm after storm tries to rip off first. And if it fails, everything else fails with it. We are talking about the roof, and what you are about to learn might surprise you. Metal roofing and why it changes everything. The roof is where most homes lose the battle during a tropical storm. Flying debris punches through asphalt shingles. Wind gets under overhang edges and peels sections back. Once the roof is compromised, rain pours into the structure and the entire interior becomes a loss. Metal roofs on barndominiums operate on an entirely different level. Standing seam metal panels with concealed fasteners are rated to resist wind uplift at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour when properly installed. The concealed fastener system means there are no exposed screw heads that can back out over time or create leak points during wind-driven rain. The panels run continuously from ridge to eave, creating a seamless surface that sheds water rapidly and gives wind nothing to grab onto. The installation is what separates a roof that survives from one that does not. Hurricane straps and clips connect each metal panel to the structural framing below. Proper sealing at ridges, valleys, and penetrations prevents wind-driven rain from finding any entry point. Overhang lengths are kept minimal on storm-rated builds, typically less than 12 inches, because every inch of overhang is a lever arm that wind can use to generate uplift force. During Arthur, the heaviest rain came in sustained bands over multiple days. A metal roof that sheds water as fast as it falls is a massive advantage in that scenario. Asphalt shingles absorb moisture over time. Metal does not. And in a post-storm environment, where humidity stays high and moisture exposure continues for days, a metal roof continues performing while traditional roofing materials are already beginning to degrade. One more thing on roofing. Hip roof designs perform better in high wind than gable roof designs because the sloped planes on all 4 sides reduce the surface area that wind can act upon directly. Barndominium builders in hurricane-prone areas are increasingly specifying hip roofs or reduced pitch designs to maximize storm performance. Everything we have covered so far handles the wind and the rain, but Arthur's real calling card in 2026 was water on the ground, flooding that surrounded homes and sat for days. And for that threat, there is one design feature that most people have not even considered for their barndominium: We are talking about the basement, and whether it helps you or hurts you is not the answer most people expect. The basement question. Let us have an honest conversation about basements in Barndominium builds, because there is a lot of confusion around this topic and the stakes are real. First, the honest reality. Barndominiums are most commonly built on concrete slab foundations and in flood-prone coastal areas like the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast regions that Arthur just impacted. A basement is almost never the right answer. Here is why. When floodwaters rise and saturate the soil around a basement, hydrostatic pressure builds against the walls. If that pressure exceeds what the walls can handle, they crack, bow inward, or fail completely. A flooded basement in a tropical storm scenario can fill with water in minutes. That is not a shelter, that is a trap. However, there is a specific and extremely valuable use case for a basement in a barndominium located in storm-prone areas that are not flood zones. If you are building inland, away from storm surge and flash flood risk, a reinforced concrete basement or a poured concrete safe room built below grade is one of the most effective tornado and severe wind shelters available. Arthur spawned tornado activity in parts of Texas and Louisiana. If you are in an area where tornadoes are the primary threat and flooding is not a significant factor, a reinforced below-grade space gives you the deepest, most protected refuge possible during a violent weather event. The smart approach in 2026 for barndominium builders in storm-vulnerable regions is this. If you are on the Gulf Coast or in a flood zone, skip the basement and invest in an elevated foundation and an interior reinforced safe room built to FEMA 320 standards. These rooms can be constructed of concrete masonry or steel reinforced walls inside the barndominium itself, and designed to withstand winds exceeding 200 miles per hour. If you are inland with tornado risk but low flood exposure, a reinforced basement is a legitimate and powerful option. The key point is that storm protection is site-specific. What saves you in San Antonio might flood you in Galveston. Know your risk. Build to it. We have covered steel frames, foundations, metal roofs, and basements. But there are 3 more features that determine whether a barndominium actually keeps you safe when the storm is directly on top of you. And one of them is something most builders do not mention until after you have already signed the contract. Impact-resistant openings, insulation, and safe rooms, windows, and doors are where storms break into homes. It is not dramatic, it is just physics. When wind-driven debris hits a standard window, the glass shatters, wind pressure fills the interior, and that pressure difference is what ultimately blows roofs off from the inside out. Protecting your openings is not optional in storm country. It is foundational. Impact-resistant windows are built with laminated glass that holds together even when cracked, rather than shattering into the interior. Storm shutters provide a secondary layer of defense and can be closed in the hours before a storm makes landfall. Heavy-duty steel entry doors with reinforced frames and multi-point locking systems dramatically reduce the risk of door failure under wind pressure. Garage doors are actually the most vulnerable opening in most buildings and should be rated to meet local wind load requirements for any barndominium. In a hurricane or tropical storm zone, insulation plays a role in storm performance that most people do not think about. Spray foam insulation applied to the interior of steel frame walls and roof panels does more than regulate temperature. It adds rigidity to the wall assembly, helps seal the building envelope against wind-driven rain infiltration, and prevents the condensation issues that can cause steel to corrode over time in humid coastal environments. A fully spray-foamed barndominium is measurably tighter and more structurally coherent than one with batt insulation. The safe room is the feature that most builders do not bring up unprompted because it costs extra, and nobody wants to be the one who raises the budget. But here is the truth. No matter how well your barndominium is built, there is always a scenario where conditions exceed the design parameters. A direct tornado strike. A storm that intensifies faster than forecast. Equipment failure. The safe room is your last line of defense, and building one into the design from the beginning is far cheaper than trying to retrofit one later. A poured concrete safe room of roughly 8 by 8 feet, built inside the barndominium during construction, adds roughly $8,000 to $15,000 to the build cost. That is not a small number, but compared to what it protects, it is the most cost-efficient square footage in the entire build. We have covered what a barndominium does right in a storm. Now we need to talk about what it does not do well, because this is where honest content matters. There are real limitations, and if you build in the wrong location without accounting for them, all those steel frame advantages will not save you. What a Barndominium cannot do and where it falls short steel is strong, but it is not magic, and there are conditions where a Barndominium faces real challenges that need to be acknowledged. Storm surge is the biggest one. If you are building in a coastal area where Arthur-style storm surge can push several feet of water inland, no amount of steel framing protects you from a flooded foundation at grade level. The answer is elevation, not material. A Barndominium built at grade in a storm surge zone faces the same flood risk as any other structure at grade. The steel frame will survive, but the contents, the electrical systems, the HVAC equipment, and the finished interior will all be damaged or destroyed if water enters the building. Metal buildings can also be susceptible to corrosion in salt air coastal environments if protective coatings are not specified correctly, and maintained. High-quality galvanized or galvalume steel with appropriate paint systems and annual inspections handles this well. But it is not a set-it-and-forget-it situation. Coastal Barndominiums need a maintenance program. The other honest limitation is zoning and financing. In 2026, some coastal counties and municipalities in storm-prone states still have building codes or HOA restrictions that create friction for metal building residential construction. Financing through conventional lenders can require additional appraisal steps for Barndominium properties. These are not structural limitations, but they are real-world considerations that affect whether you can actually build and ensure what you want to build. Think about the famous Sand Palace that survived a Category 5 storm in Mexico Beach when every other home was obliterated. It didn't just survive because of its steel and concrete, it survived because it was elevated. The storm surge passed right underneath it. That is the exact lesson for a Barndominium build. Finally, no structure is entirely hurricane-proof. A direct strike from a major Category 4 or 5 hurricane, producing sustained winds above 150 miles per hour, is a different threat level than what Arthur produced. A properly engineered Barndominium gives you a significantly better chance than a wood frame home in that scenario. But the honest answer is that extreme storms at maximum intensity can damage any structure. The goal is to build to a level that protects you and your family across the full range of realistic storm scenarios for your specific location. Here is where we land on this. Tropical Storm Arthur in June 2026 was exactly the kind of storm that exposes the difference between homes built to minimum code and homes built to perform. Wind gusts at 50 miles per hour, days of sustained rainfall, flash flooding, and tornado activity across multiple states. That is not a worst-case scenario. That is a normal Gulf Coast storm season opener. A well-built steel frame Barndominium with a metal roof, proper anchoring, impact-resistant openings, spray foam insulation, and either an elevated foundation or an interior safe room, depending on your flood zone designation, is not just a home that can survive a tropical storm. It is a home that is designed from the ground up to perform in exactly these conditions. It costs more to build right. Elevated foundations in flood zones add $12,000 to $35,000. Impact windows and rated doors add $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the number of openings. A safe room adds $8,000 to $15,000. But compare that to the insurance premium reductions that hurricane-rated Barndominium construction qualifies for in 2026, which can run $1,000 to $3,000 per year, less than a traditional wood frame home in the same zone, and the math starts making a lot of sense over a 20 or 30-year ownership period. The real takeaway from Arthur is this: the storm does not care what your home is made of. The storm does what it does. Your job as a builder or a buyer is to make choices now that determine what is still standing when it is over. Barndominiums, when built correctly, give you one of the best foundations for making that happen. If you found this video helpful, please drop a comment below and tell us where you are building or where you live in storm country. We want to know what your biggest concern is when it comes to storm-proofing your build. And share this video with anyone who is planning a Barndominium in the Gulf Coast, the Southeast, or any area where tropical weather is a reality. This information could genuinely help someone make a decision that protects their family. Subscribe if you have not already, hit the like button, and we will see you in the next one.